for New London today offensively. He's assuming that position at quarterback.
Yeah, he's the spark plug. He's definitely going to have to keep the consistency on the offense and then keep the ball moving. At this time, they did a great play there to move the chains right off the rip. The momentum has to stay on their side to have a chance and an opportunity to play well and probably get a victory here.
Burns will operate out of the shotgun. Ledyard in the visiting white. Whalers in there, green and gold. Burns pulls it. Read option, keeps it himself, and he'll have a nice gain over the 30-yard line to the 28. Jackson Barbosa there to wrap him up, along with Ben Rushcheck for Ledyard.
Yeah, that was a good read from Burns. He actually saw the end crash in and tried to go for the back, so when the pull and run came in there, looked like he ran a little bit like Jerome Bettis with that little run style, right?
That's exactly who I compared him to last week. Last week when New London lost to Bacon Academy, Burns was forced into quarterback after Irizarry got hurt. And they have a couple of different looks with him. And one of them is they'll go power football, direct snap, and he'll just run the ball. And, he does run the ball like a Bettis. And that's what they're seeing right here. Direct snap, cuts it, breaks a tackle, puts his head down, and he'll be really close to the first down. And he is a big kid, and he runs heavy, but he's got light feet.
No, definitely. The offensive line right now is showing a lot of promise. They're getting off the ball right now, and I think they try to have this momentum just established in this first drive here. So it's good. And it seems like Ledyard's kind of just, getting themselves together, trying to find out what's going on. But they're going to have to play a little bit more tougher as they're getting into the red zone.
First down for the Whalers, already a good opening drive. We'll talk a little bit about where these teams are headed, but last week probably marked the most the spectrum of emotion between two teams couldn't have been any different. Burns, delayed handoff. Fleurejean has it, and he's hit on a play that never really got going. Jacob Lentz shot the gap, and that play was a little off. Last week, Ledyard went in and beat Wyndham in overtime. Previously undefeated Wyndham, who everybody was talking about. Ledyard, who had been everyone said the Ledyard bubble bursts when they play Wyndham because they've been mostly a factor of schedule.
Right.
And then they went and they stood toe-to-toe and beat Wyndham with a perfect game plan and beat them in overtime. And no team last week in the entire state was riding higher than was Ledyard.
Yeah,
that ball's on the turf, and Burns will just cover it up, and that's going to bring up third down.
That's the second missed exchange he had with the center, so we're going to have to see how that works out as the center exchange bobbled the one before, and now he did it again. So, little nerves. Sometimes playing Saturday at 11 in the morning is not something that they're accustomed to. Not like when I played over here. We were ready to play Saturday at 1 o'clock all the time, and so
that was. Yeah. Now today at halftime, that New London will be honoring former great coach Jim Bunicor, and the irony is that was a deal breaker. 1 o'clock Saturday was it. You didn't play it. That was it. That was the game. Friday Night Lights didn't exist back then. No. Burns rolls, looks to throw, pulls it up himself. Dives forward. He won't have the first down, but he'll get about halfway there. He had a man running free. That was Mancuso.
Yep.
But Mancuso couldn't quite shake where Burns could see him, and so Burns pulls it down, and it'll bring up fourth down. Now, last week, New London came off of a really great effort against East Lyme and then proceeded to lose to Bacon Academy, a team that had not won a game in over 1,000 days.
Yep.
And that was a really low point for New London emotionally, feeling like they were, lost. This game, this classic rivalry, a chance for them to sort of rewrite and regain their footing. Jet sweep, Barnes, great speed to the outside, first down and goal Whalers. Barnes finally wrestled down by Streckfus.
We have a flag on the play there. We're going to see what happens. I think there might be a holding.
And it looks like it will be. And this is what happened last week as well. New London just shooting themselves in the foot just a little bit on plays like this. That was a huge fourth down run for the first down. Would have been first and goal, and instead you get a chop block, which we had talked about off air, which is a rule in high school which is sometimes difficult for kids to understand. But you cannot go low on a player once contact has already been made with that player.
Casey, we've been through it for so many years. Talking to my alumni, they're always saying, what's going on here? This is what we used to do. But the evolution of football has made it safer, and more competitive where kids can play, and that kind of technique right there was always harming players' knees. So to have that rule in place, I think it's a fair rule. There's some other rules in place that they have there that keeps continuity of the game and the safety of the game high.
Well, the idea of, I talked with some former guys too. The idea, that's what we always used to do. Well, pregnant moms also chain smoked Marlboros on airplanes. That's what we used to do. And I don't think anybody thinks that's a good idea anymore. So
true that.
We evolve, we learn. 4th and 20. Burns is going to throw. Deep on the sideline. Looking for his receiver in the end zone. Overthrown. He was looking for Hazlett.
Yep.
And that'll be a turnover on down. So a promising opening drive for New London ultimately leads to no points. And that'll bring out the Ledyard Colonels offense, led, of course, by senior quarterback Jackson Polton and the playmaker, James Green, one of the most electric players in the ECC. He is a 1,000-watt smile and a 1,000-yard rusher. The kid can do it all, and he will get plenty of work today against this Whaler defense. He lines up in the backfield of the double wing with Polton under center. Green gets the carry, straight up the gut. Nice job by the center of the New London defense. Deshaun Mooney, Kyle Parks in on the tackle.
You know, Case, I remember the first time I was finishing out my senior year at Delaware State, and I got a call, and I thought it was, who's this? It turned out to be Mr. Bunicor. And, one of the funny things was that I thought he was just calling to congratulate me for graduating. He was like, no, I want to talk to you and I'll offer you a job here at New London High School. And that was the trigger of me coming back home and coaching at New London. So there's going to be a lot of stories in between this.
Green gets the handoff again, bounces off of a tackle, cuts one inside, and wrestled out of bounds and shoved out of bounds by Parks. That's good pursuit by the Whalers. Green, you can't give him an inch. He's both elusive, shifty, and strong, and that was well done. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and maybe a yard, but the Whalers do a good job keeping Green in the playing field.
Well, last time we saw Green play, he was like the human joystick, and I do have a joystick here with me. I left it in the truck. He's a phenomenal athlete and learns how to react in the nature of the play, But again, that was a great job by New London, keeping pursuit and making sure they can contain him.
3rd and inches. And that's going to actually, they gave him the first down and moved the chain, so that's a first down run, and that gains nothing. That's a great job interior of the New London line, led by Kyle Parks, shot in from his DN position, and that's going to be a gain of a yard.
Throughout the course of this, just watching this game, you can never underestimate a rivalry game. No matter what record each team has, a rivalry game can bring something special out of some teams.
Green gets the handoff, bounces outside. Here's where he's dangerous. Crosses the 40, cuts it back inside, and Hazlett brings him down. First down, Colonels in Whaler territory at the 35-yard line.
The young man got touched 4 times and still found a way to break away. Again, that's his natural reaction, and working to the, where we say the outside thirds are very important for running backs, as you keep that between the numbers and the hash, then you're able to break away on some cuts. That can really cause a lot of problems. I think he's warming up to be producing some points today.
Polton calling out the signals, the senior poised quarterback for Ledyard. Green again, and not much there. Good job by the Whalers. First one there was Javon Ford, and he stacked up Green after a gain of maybe a yard. The situation in the playoff races are so different depending on what class you're in. Ledyard at 7-1 probably needs to win out to get a home game.
Yes.
They might, and if they lose a game, they are not a guarantee to be in the top 8.
No. And the loss from Barlow just last night, I believe, that really changed the dynamics of the division.
Late pitch from Polton to Lentz. They had Green wrapped up. Polton pulled it back, ran option, and was actually well past the line of scrimmage. He had maybe an 8-yard gain himself and used the late pitch to Lentz, and that's going to get Ledyard all the way down inside the 20 to the 14-yard line.
That's the great thing about option play. If you have that pitch runner still running with you and you could suck in a corner, you make that opening.
1st and 10, Ledyard. Green, handoff, about 5 up the middle. As the field gets a little tighter, the Colonels getting closer to pay dirt.
Yeah, it seems like Ledyard's warming up right now, and they're in gear with their plays, just taking advantage, but we do have a player down now.
We got a player down on the field. We'll take this opportunity to talk about after the game today, where you're going to want to stick around on our social media sites. You want to go find us on Game Day CT, because we're going to have our interview with the Foxwoods. Player of the game at the center of it all, it's Foxwoods Resort and Casino. The upcoming events include the Beach Boys, featuring the Holidays Vibration Orchestra. That's November 26th. Tickets are on sale now. For more details, you want to visit foxwoods.com/entertainment, only at Foxwoods Resort and Casino. The wonder of it all. So The brackets in the different classes right now are so varied that there is a class, I believe it's L,
Yep.
where a 500 team is in the mix for, I believe, 4 and 5 team is in the mix for the 8th seed. Whereas in L, in M or in S, there are teams that are undefeated and one loss that are scrambling to try to get a home game.
Yeah.
So it's all over the place. Now here's something, and Peter Wappy has the scenario, but a team that we've seen, that you've seen, who has had a difficult season, is still eligible for the playoffs, and that's Branford of all teams.
Imagine that.
Branford's still in the mix for a playoff spot.
Still in the mix after week
despite 3 losses, right? 3 or 4 losses for Branford. 5 losses for Branford, and they are still in the playoff mix.
The scoring system is what makes it happen. I mean, you may have some teams that have 1 losses, but have played teams that really haven't got any victories under their belts, and those points count too. So when you have a team that's probably 5-5, in the 500 range, they play teams that probably have 6 or 7 wins that they have beaten that keep them in contention. So the CIAC point system is something that we probably have to teach our younger fans and those that don't know how people get into playoffs.
Green gets the handoff, and again, a great job by the center of the New London line. Coming out of the pack that time was Trevin Robledo-Thompson, and that's probably as good an interior as we've seen against Ledyard. New London right now, very stout in the middle. They've been burned a couple times wide, but nothing. They're keeping it in front of them here, 3rd and 4.
Yep. They got some big boys in the front line that are clogging, and they're making movement. They're moving around with their slants and causing disruption in the blocking system. King on number 7.
Green, handoff down to maybe the 2-yard line.
First
Looks
down.
like he's going to have a first down. It's going to be 1st and goal, Ledyard, all the way to the 1.
The psyche to beat New London has always been, continue to ground and pound and take them out of their mindset.
Quick snap, Polton keeps it himself, pushing forward, waiting for the signal. Touchdown, Ledyard Colonels.
That was a great drive by Ledyard.
And we know how good they are at that quarterback keeper. He kept it himself, pushed forward, got the yard necessary. 6-0 Ledyard with 4:09 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, very gritty ground and pound style offense that just went down the field and marched. They do have explosiveness, but if they don't, the consistency of gaining 3 to 4 yards of play is just brutal for a defense psychologically. So, hopefully New London could be prepared to have a full 4-quarter battle. Otherwise, this could be really tough for them today.
So Ledyard will go for 2.
Correction, they are going for 2.
Polton looks like he has it himself. Gives it to Green. Green gets brought down. They won't get it. So there's a positive note for the Whalers as they hold with 4:09 remaining in the first period. 6-0 Ledyard on top. Of course, this game is a storied rivalry, a long-time rivalry. For years, it was the great Bill Mignault in Ledyard and the great Jim Buonicore in New London. And in many ways, this is the rivalry that spawned football's version of game day. We go back all the way with this rivalry to its inception of game day. We were there. And, for many Ledyard and New London fans, this is almost equal to Thanksgiving in terms of the games you remember growing up. You remember those great Thanksgiving Day games, but you always remember the Ledyard-New London game. And for us, for people from our era, the Ledyard-New London game here 34 years ago was the day, and all you had to say was, that game in 1988, and everyone will go, Jamal. And that was Jamal Johnson's single-handedly doing everything. I don't think he came off the field.
I heard Papa Buonicore call the sprint draw probably 100 times that day. He would have been so proud to continue to hear that play called.
500 yards of total offense for Jamal that day.
And there were 2 Hall of Fame running backs now, because Kyle Peebler's a Hall of Famer at Ledyard, and man, that young guy was running like a racehorse. Again, we were seeing the 2 different styles that New London and Ledyard has always had throughout the years. The rivalry, the battle. You're right. It was better than Thanksgiving. To me, it was like a college bowl game, rivalry game. You always had it packed. I know there was games here where it was jam-packed all the way up to the tennis courts. And, that great pride and sense of battles have I was lucky. I only lost once, but, that Ledyard program was always a psychological preparation for us.
Good field position for the Whalers as they're at the 42-yard line here on first down. Burns at quarterback. Motion man is Barnes. Hand off to Barnes. He bangs outside, and he'll gain maybe 2. Good pursuit to the outside. Ryan Taggart, the sophomore for Ledyard.
It seems like the offensive coordinator's done some, variations to get Barnes the ball there. The motion there, running the routes, and, special teams. This young man's going to be special today. He can be productive for the Whalers.
Well, there are no shortage of dynamic players on New London's team. Getting the ball into their hands is always the trick, and Barnes is among them. Mancuso as well on the short side. Hazlett. These guys are all dynamic playmakers. Handoff ball on the turf. And Ledyard says they have it. The officials are coming in, and the Colonels have recovered it just inside Whaler territory at the 44-yard line.
I couldn't see who that was, but that defensive end there, when he was trying to punched his hand right through that ball, and that ball bounced to the ground and bounced in one of the Ledyard's hands. Great play there for defensive tackling skill. We always teach that and try to get that punching through the ball. And the way he held the ball while was getting cluttered, you have to use 2 hands and kind of secure it. He didn't do it there, and Ledyard now has the ball.
First down, Colonels inside Whaler territory at the 48-yard line. Motion, handoff, Green, and he'll have 5 on first down. And this is that Ledyard offense where they're going to just, you keep waiting for the play action, it never comes.
It never will.
You keep waiting for the toss sweep, it never comes. It's like they're gonna run that dive to Green, and they're gonna run the occasional quarterback keeper off of it, an option here and there, but it's just, this is a very, very disciplined, patient Ledyard offense.
Yes, it is.
That ball's on the turf, but I think Polton landed on it. It'll bring up 3rd and 7. Last week against Wyndham, Ledyard ran every play, waiting until the back judge put his hand up.
Yep.
And then ran the play. So that means for those out there that they waited till there was 5 seconds left on the play clock, every single play, in order to keep it out of Wyndham's hands.
Yeah, definitely. That was a great part of the strategy that they had, where they had that talent from Wyndham that could be explosive. You keep them off the field and just march that time down. You never give them that opportunity to do a comeback like that. And that does mess up people psychologically. Again, ball control, you try to get back, defense gets tired. Those are all great factors that favor Ledyard.
Kyle Parks with a big play on 3rd down. He's had a nice game here in the early going of the first quarter. It's going to bring up 4th and 8. Not a down and distance Ledyard is particularly comfortable with. Let's see if they have Polton throw the ball. It's rare when he does. Polton to throw. Rolls. Throws. Short on the sideline. His receiver comes back to the ball and makes the catch.
What a catch.
Leon Stahlbush came back to the ball, made the catch. The defensive back fell down. That was a underthrown ball into the wind.
Yeah, that wind was a big factor in that throw. But, good thinking and smart football as he returned back and pushed the defender to the side to make that catch.
So first down Ledyard, and that's a bit of a break. That ball more often than not will be intercepted or fall incomplete, but that was a really nice job coming back to the football by Stahlbush.
That's their first pass of the day, brother.
Handoff, Green, off tackle, breaks the tackle. Nice move, shifty.
Nice cut.
Heads to the sideline, 1 man to beat, reaching. Touchdown, Green, the playmaker, makes a play.
Unbelievable.
And once again shows all the skills, the speed, the sidestep, finally the strength, and into the end zone for the touchdown.
One of the things I like about the blocking scheme that Ledyard has is they run that veer right there. It's a strong double down, leave that edge player by himself, let Green make that play. So when he went in and they washed him down, Green stayed tight just like a surfer to the wave, and then when he saw Barnes right there, he just cut inside, made him bite, went to the outside, and it was clear sailing. It was a good fight into the end zone.
I don't know that Quintrell DeSources can play it any better than he did for New London. He was step for step with him. He had him in the right position. Here's a toss to Green on the 2-point conversion attempt. This time he'll waltz in 14-0 Ledyard. I don't know that New London could have defended it much better, but Green, Ledyard's going to say, anyone in the state, if we have Green one-on-one with your guy, we'll take that matchup. Anyone in the state. Someday someone's gonna be too much, but not yet.
I'm gonna throw it to you this way. We use the old football terminology, cut on a dime, right? this kid is cutting on a Bitcoin. That's how good he was. He made that cut. And you have to commit. I mean, anytime I would teach a defensive player, as they make their cut, you read that thigh board and go right through it. But that cut and then coming back out was phenomenal. Great job by Green.
We talk all the time about small towns around the country, and their best player goes off to college. And 1,000 times in high school, he came up and made the tackle. Mm-hmm. And then in college, he comes up and he whiffs because the other guy is better than he's ever seen before.
Yep.
Right now, at this level, James Green is the best any of these guys have seen. That cut is something you can't replicate. It's not as much. Yep. So Ledyard right now has said, anyone in the state of Connecticut, you take your best tackler.
Yep.
We'll take Green in space, and we'll take our chances.
Yep.
And maybe at some point, there's going to be a kid out there who tackles James Green multiple times, and Ledyard will have to adjust to it. But right now, that's as simple as our best player will take it.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to create that matchup as often as they can. Green in some space with anybody.
No, it's amazing. I mean, he cut inside so quickly. I mean, the joystick, definition is R1, left triangle, and then B, that B button. He just pressed in, and then he bounced it to the outside. Didn't even have to spin on that one.
So my apologies and a correction. Quintrell De Sousa is the player. I'm going to make that adjustment. That did such a great job there with Green before ultimately pushing Green out. But that is a tough act for anyone as the kickoff goes out of bounds. And here's where, with 1:53 remaining in the first period, I feel like New London's not overmatched, and yet they're down 14-0, and we're still in the first period. So they need a drive right now where they get out of this first period, into the second period, and get the ball into Ledyard territory. Like, this cannot be a 3-and-out, a fumble. This cannot be, a waste of time.
I bet you if we look at the statistics in time, that's where you're going to see the big variance of it, just how Ledyard has controlled that ball and driving down the field. And again, they wait and they're patient for that explosive play to come. But they're determined, It's like Rocky hitting the ribs, left hook, right hook, until it's an opportunity to go for a knockout play.
Burns stands at his own 30-yard line from the shotgun, hands it off. And nice gain, 3-4 yards by Fleurjean on first down.
That was a good run from New London right there. Nice perimeter play, get the outside. This is the things that they need to do. Get themselves a second and short, third and short, get an opportunity to get a first down.
Matthew Tebbets on the tackle for Ledyard. He's one of the junior captains that we saw out before today's game. And Ledyard, starting that senior-junior turnover, we saw Tebbets and Rushcheck and Fancher, all juniors out there earlier as well as sophomore. Man, they are rallying the ball. Rushcheck, first one there. But give credit as maybe 5 yards after initial contact. So that was tough run, bringing up third and short.
Yeah, again, when you work into the perimeter to the outside, you're definitely, running a little bit longer. But he saw that outside edge was contained very well by the corner, cutting it back inside to the heavy lineman, and then there was Rushcheck right there to seal the deal and, get it to a third and short right now for New London. What a beautiful day here, dear brother.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Unbelievable day.
Chris Jones standing next to Burns here on third and short. Burns keeps it, and he'll have the first down, crosses the 45-yard line. So that play may take us to the end of the first period, depending on what New London wants to do. Right now, they have what wind is blowing with New London right now. So let's see if they get one more playoff or if they're going to let it run out here to end the first period.
I think coach is going to hold off and have the quarter finish.
Yeah, New London is heading over to the sideline, and Ledyard is heading over to theirs as the clock ticks down under 10 seconds. So as the clock heads to 0, we will take our break as well. It is 14-0 Ledyard on top of New London. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
You buy better. Better at first. Much better. So much better at first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at first. You buy better at first. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With the new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
14-0, Ledyard on top of New London. Whalers with the football at their own 45-yard line. 1st and 10 as we start the second quarter here at New London High School on a beautiful Saturday morning. Burns to throw. Deep down the sideline, looking one-on-one, and had a chance. Hazlett had it in his hand. Defended well by Adamick. Streckfus was there as well.
I'll tell you, Wyatt Crawford just came off the edge and beat the tackle with a rip technique and was right in front of his face before he threw that ball. Wyatt's been playing very well this year, coming right off that edge. Some pressure coming in there, and the offensive line has to pick up.
So two things, in addition to the pressure, they're into the wind now, so that throw is going deep sideline into the wind.
Yep.
And the second part was, despite all of that, the player had a chance to make the play and just wasn't able to hold on to it. It was good coverage.
Yeah. Here comes the jet.
Little jet sweep. Broken tackle. Barnes gains 4 when nothing was there. So give Tyree Barnes credit as he was able to turn nothing into something.
This is a good situation right now. Whalers are not in that 3rd and long situation, but it gives them a chance to try to make a couple plays here. And again, they're just trying to find some consistency in their play calling to make sure they can keep these drives going. They had a real good drive in the first and, gave it up on 4th down. It would be a closer game.
After the penalty.
Yep.
If it wasn't for the penalty, they would be 1st and goal and maybe score on the first drive, and you never know.
Yes, sir.
Hazlett. Great tackle made in the
outside.
open field by Stahlbusch. What a tackle. Big loss.
That's how you look through the thigh board and wrap up and tackle. And again, that's just a great defensive play by Ledyard right now, putting him in a position right now to, get the ball back, start another long drive.
Now, one thing last week against Bacon Academy is that when Irizarry got hurt, he was also their punter. And so New London was without a punter. Now they've had a week to audition people for the punting responsibilities, and it looks like Chris Jones will be the punter. But last week, they were faced with a 4th and 10 against Bacon in midfield area, chose to go for it because they didn't have a punter.
Nobody else had a backup. Always good to have a backup punter.
Good snap. Jones handles, and it's blocked. Blocked. Ledyard scoops it up, or now it's on the turf, and they're going to have to fall on it.
Oh, he's still up.
And the Colonels will have it just outside the 10-yard line at the 12. So special teams mistake for the Whalers, big block for the Colonels, and that's going to be 1st and 10 Ledyard at the 12.
Yeah, it was a very slow snap that got to his hands, and he just started reading the label instead of just attacking and punting that ball. Again, we talk about experience. He probably's in there and practicing in the practice field, but in the game situation, you have to get that ball out. And it was blocked by the interior of the Ledyard defense there, and now they have another chance to score in short field position. You don't want to do that with the Colonels.
No, we're only 10 minutes, 40 seconds left here in the second period. Already 14-0. You can't give Ledyard this kind of field position. It's exactly what we said New London couldn't afford to do. Polton to throw, wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Stahlbusch. So we say they don't throw it much, and when they do, that's what happens. Teams sell out for the run, passing touchdown for Polton.
I feel like Count Dracula. Two passes. Who would have thunk, huh? In the first half.
And that one is right there. That play is so well designed because no one thinks at the 12-yard line Ledyard's going to throw the ball, and instead they get Stahlbusch, and he's wide open. Nice catch, by the way, on the fingertips of the pass from Polton.
Well, deliver to the guy that set the defensive play. He made that great tackle there, forcing it to 4th down in the punt, and then come back and give it to him. That's a well-deserved play.
That ball is on the turf, so that is going to go down and nothing there. So we are 20-0 here in the first period. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
You buy better. Better first. Much better. So much better first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better first. You buy better first. You buy
know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
20-0, Ledyard on top here in the second quarter at New London High School. Colonels will kick off on a windy Saturday morning as they take advantage of the block punt and score their third touchdown of the ball game. So Polton has a touchdown on the ground. He has a touchdown in the air. Green with the other rushing touchdown for the Colonels.
Here's a squib right there low.
Ground ball. New London's going to have good field position as they get right up to the 50-yard line. The ball was picked up by Parks, and he took it straight to the 50. So Whalers can't ask for better field position. They've had good field position almost the entire game, every possession.
Yeah, I think the kickers today are trying to just keep that ball low away from the wind because that was a low squib kick. I don't think it was designed, but I tell you, this is a beautiful day. You just can't determine where the wind's coming from.
Is it possible to get a sunburn in November?
Yes, it is.
Indoors?
I mean, you're getting one right now. Your cheekbones are rosy.
That's right. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the sun on my face.
It is. Beautiful hot day.
I can tell you right now, Great Neck Country Club, this wind, this sun, there's a lot of guys cursing right now.
Yep.
Reverse for the Whalers. Barnes gets it. Cuts it on a dime, stays in bounds, first down to the 32-yard line. Nice reverse and nice run by Tyree Barnes.
A very good misdirection play by Barnes in that offense there, making the defense just, shimmy back and forth until they find out where the ball was at. This is what the Whalers need, some quick impact plays, some special plays. They have the speed. Hopefully they can get down there and get some points and make this game, worth for it. See the numbers of the dog pounder rising up there in the corner. Missed the traditional dog pounds.
Last week, I kidnapped Whaler great Jason Appleby to come and watch the game. First time I'd ever been on the visiting sidelines as my son was playing for the visiting team. I think I could get a pass for that one time. Great defense by the Colonels. Miles Streckfus gets in the backfield, wrestles Jones down. Big loss on first down.
That's a great stud play. We call that a go on defense where the two defensive linemen match up the inside interior and leave the A-gap wide open. He shot right through it, read the mesh, and made the play. I've always had experiences, watching it from this side, down as a Whaler fan. And then when I had a chance to coach at Stonington and, down in Fitch and in, Ledyard, the biggest thing for me has always been how can I look at the opposite side of the field and to see this grandeur and the way the aura is in New London. I could see the intimidating factors and all that even before the turf was put on. I remember the first time Coach Reyes and I, he was trying to help me with my anxieties before the first game, and we came here late at night and sat down and just looked, and instead of us, thinking, what it's going to be, we just admired where we came from, and all the memories that we had over there. And this is stems from Coach Bunicor from my era, giving us the best of everything to play the game. The discipline and the hard work that came across his philosophy and coaching just showed that we were a successful program year after year after year, and it passed on from generations. And some championship programs that came along the way. The Brotherhood, some of them are here today. The alumni are showing up, and it's a great atmosphere for him to be honored today.
9:12 remaining here in the first half. 20-0 Ledyard on top. New London with the football, facing a 2nd and 15 after the big tackle for a loss made by Ledyard's Streckfus. So 2nd and 15, and Burns will operate from the shotgun. Jones will be his back. Trips left. Little bubble screen. It's going to trickery. Deep ball.
Open.
Man open, and overthrown. Mancuso couldn't get there. The pass from Hazlett was thrown so well. Couldn't get there, though. Mancuso couldn't track it down in the end zone on the wide receiver pass.
What a good play call. It was wide open. He just had to chase it down, but it was a little bit overthrown. We do have a flag on the play. And there's another one.
That's going to go against New London.
Flags were thrown on the play.
That's not going to be good for New London. That's a frustration penalty against New London there on on that play, and that's definitely not what Coach Burns wants his group to be doing. Expect to see another Whaler into the ballgame here.
It seemed like there was a holding on the opposite side that the line judge was calling, the sideline judge. And then there was some conversation in the middle. We saw the second flag come up. Just some frustration off an opportunity to make a great play like that. Definitely is, the things that we're talking about throughout the year, how teams just kind of know that when they have a record, they struggle with those little things that make them, consistent. And this was a situation that wasn't favoring New London right now. Pushes them way back.
So what they're saying was that the pass to the wide receiver, Hazlett, was a forward pass.
Okay.
And therefore he was not eligible to throw the second pass, so it was an illegal pass. That's the first penalty. The second penalty, of course, is unsportsmanlike, which is going to give New London a second, second and Quaker Hill.
Yeah, Quaker Hill. You could add in Niantic if you want to, brother.
Right now, Peter Wappy is closer to his home than the Whalers are to a first down.
Wow, that was a tough. That two penalties right there affected that whole drive.
Well, this is where New London. This is the stuff where you either need to learn and build from, or this is the thing that you can become a spiral very quickly. How do you adjust to third and forever? How do you adjust to the penalties? And that's not a good response. Snap low through the hands of Burns, and this, what was once a promising drive with some misdirection and creativity, is now honestly fourth and 50?
Fourth in New London County, buddy. Wow, that's a tough one. And now we're in a punting situation where the second attempt for the punter is coming in. We need to have a good snap and a good kick to change this field position here.
4th and 45.
Wow.
Jones will punt. Green and Lentz back for Ledyard. High snap. Jones gets it, gets the punt off. And it takes a Ledyard bounce, and wow, that is
7 yards.
A 7-yard punt on 4th and 45.
Yep.
And Ledyard will start this drive.
There's just no real words for the disappointment that I'm sure that New London sideline is feeling right now.
Yeah, it's tough.
And you got to dig deep. You got to make something happen here, and it's not going to be easy because Ledyard at 7-1, looking to get into the postseason and get a home game, is not going to take their foot off the gas anytime soon.
No, not at all. They're back at it with their offense, same similar formation.
Polton, option.
There's the pitch.
Pitch goes.
Sidelines.
Sideline, and in past the 20-yard line goes Lentz. So that's a big gain on the option. They see Lentz. They like Lentz on the outside. Polton does. Did a real nice job reading it, getting to his man, and Lentz does the rest inside the 20-yard line. First down, Ledyard.
I was watching that movie, the 30 for 30 with the 85 Bears, and one of the things that they talked about was how sweetness was productive, but the biggest decoy in Super Bowl history, and you see that in Green. They had 5 guys on him. The pitch man came down, and that made it difficult for the outside corner to play the quarterback and the pitch guy, so it's tough. You have to make a commitment, but sometimes, you got to be disciplined in where your keys are.
First down. Green handoff spins and
Great
buried
play
by Fleurejean for a loss. Green broke the first tackle into his patented spin, and Fleurejean was right there, knew where he was going to be going. He actually, Fleurejean, to his credit, tackled the spot where Green was going rather than the body himself, which was really well done.
That's the key. Stay in your area of contain and let your teammates do the rest, and they did it. That was a real good play.
2nd and 11. Handoff, Green again, and he's wrapped up after a short gain. Robledo Thompson on the tackle. It'll bring up 3rd and long. And this is where Ledyard gets uncomfortable. And New London got burned, of course, on the multiple pass plays, but on the 4th down pass play, it was a break for Ledyard. The ball was underthrown. He made a catch. This is where New London has to remain disciplined and trust its young cornerbacks to defend one-on-one, knowing that Ledyard is not comfortable throwing here. Polton, toss right to Lenz, lots of room, first down and more, heading to the end zone, touchdown Colonels.
What a play.
And I'm going to give Polton credit on that. That is not an easy pitch.
Well, you see that pitch was really like a rugby-style pitch. He had to go 360, and then force and drive that pitch to the outside with the momentum of that running back, which got outside that contain right off the rip. So by the time he got the ball, he's already outside contain. Your receiver's blocking, you know, is automatic touchdown there. That's just perimeter play. Great job for Ledyard on that blocking scheme. And, you know, again, New London still has to fight and battle to try to keep this game close.
26-0. Ledyard on top. They'll go for 2. And they send Barboza wide right and Streckfus wide left. Green walks into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. 28-0 Ledyard with 6:28 remaining in the half. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
You buy better. Better at first. Much better. So much better at first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at first. You buy better at first. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Ball taken by Mancuso, bounces it to the outside, and he'll be brought down at the 35-yard line. That's where New London will have it, 1st and 10. Reggie's a great guy.
Kick taken by John Mancuso.
And a Whaler, you know, great name in Whaler lore as well.
But the UConn.
And now the Whalers will have it 1st and 10.
You know, it's funny how our Whaler family spans from sea to shining sea. You know, I got a call from Kent, you know, sending love, and the alumni and these Hall of Famers that are out there wishing Coach Bunicor a great day today. We have some that are here today. It's going to be a great halftime special for him. I know he will appreciate those moments.
1st down Whalers. Burns will head out with Fleur-Jean as his running back. Hand off to Fleur-Jean, trying to get outside. He does. Now cuts it back inside, lowers the head, and drives forward for 5 yards. Tough run by Fleur-Jean. Lenz brought him down, but that's the kind of tough running the Whalers need and the senior provided.
Yeah, that was physical. He held the ball with 2 hands, and he drove downfield. That's the kind of attitude you want to have when you run the rock for New London.
2nd down and 4.
Talk about great rivalries. You know, I was lucky to be coached by Coach Bunicor, but I also was, Coach Mignol was my coach for the All-Star team in my senior year when I played for the Nutmeg Games. So I had a chance to be with some great experienced coaching staff. There's people along the way.
Burns keeps it himself, puts his foot down, puts his foot in the turf and his head down, and he'll have the 1st down as he crosses the 45. Now, here's the funny thing. As many people who know you, see, I've always known you as New London's Pasta, the player, the coach. I knew you coached with Jimmy at Ledyard, and you went on into other places. But what I did not realize is that there is an equal, possibly even higher number of people who know you as Track Pasta.
Yes.
And that boggles my mind. We'll talk about that. Burns to throw, hitch and go. Now pressured, steps up, patient, dumps it. Beautiful throw to Mancuso. 1st down Whalers. Credit Burns for the patience. He played that like a quarterback. Allowed Mancuso to get open. 1st down Whalers.
Very smart attitude there. You know, he could have ran the ball and gained 3 or 4 yards, but he knew that defender had to make a commitment. He made a commitment towards Burns, and he threw it right over the head for a great play. New London's got a drive going right now, and we need them to keep on working on that.
1st and 10 Whalers. Ball at 38-yard line of Ledyard as we are under 5 minutes remaining here in the half. Burns pulls it out of Fleur-Jean's belly, keeps it himself. He'll gain 5. So last night we're doing the ECC, we're doing the state tournament volleyball game, Griswold and Lyman, and of course we bring in Madison Canestrari to be our volleyball person.
Yeah.
And I say I'm doing football tomorrow with Pasta, and she goes, Coach Pasta, and I went, what's right? You're a Ledyard girl, you know? He was like, yeah, from track, and I'm like, come on. She's like, tell him I said apples.
That's right.
See, I
You know, there's so many little things that I've had with our track family. That was a great experience, and definitely Madison was one of my special athletes I enjoyed. I coach boys, you know, with Papa Tedlow and I worked together to work with both boys and girls. It was a great experience.
Flurjan breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and goes outside. Gets the first down, brought down by Adamick, but that's going to be first down Whalers.
I'm trying to think of the comment I used to always tell her, apples to oranges, I believe. It was just her talent that she had utilized, you know, and she was a great volleyball player. But, you know, for her commitment to the track program was really important for just her competition. You know, what the good thing about, you know, football and track, they have very good similarities. It's high number athletes, high number people. And when, you know, you coach track, you just don't coach your own. One thing about the track family in the state of Connecticut is that we all work together, you know, helping our kids, and that myriad of just, you know, connections week in and week out with the teams made, you know, competition great, but it was also sportsmanship-like, you know. And so there wasn't that kind of I'm going to get you attitude and beat you and stomp you. It was where I'm going to win, you know, get my personal goal for my team goal, and from there, you know, we developed a you know, good track program led by Coach Tetlow, and he taught me the ins and outs, and, you know, Jimmy organized all that stuff to make it happen. So I was very blessed to have some great years coaching track, you know, and then just coaching football. I had a chance to do wrestling here at New London High School, and the great Gil Vargas allowed me to coach baseball, which was probably one of my most favorite moments, you know, in New London, just to coach, you know, baseball. Know that I never had a chance to play in it, but he loved me enough to coach it. So, yeah, I was lucky. My coaching career was a blessing, but it all stemmed from here, New London, and to finish it off at Ledyard was, you know, man, I got goosebumps.
First down Whalers, 4 minutes to go in the half. Burns gives it outside to Jones, and Jones wrestled out by Streckvis after a gain. They're going to call it 4, maybe 5 yards. So Whalers moving the ball.
Yep.
They're going to give him even more. They're going to say 7. That's a much longer run than originally thought. And Jones, if you look at the Whalers, you know, Barnes is only a sophomore.
Yep. Very young group.
Mancuso's a junior. Jones is a sophomore. Burris is a junior. They've got a lot of kids coming back next year. Irizarry, the quarterback, will be back.
Yep.
Yes, it's hard to replace Johnny Burns and hard to replace Flurjan, but Parks is a junior coming back on the defensive side. Some of the linemen, you're always going to have to replace some linemen, but cupboard is certainly not bare here for New London. There is a chance to build off of this group of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Burns. And Jones had some room to the outside. He was getting a nice block from Hazlett on the edge, but he slipped and fell to the turf, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
This New London offensive scheme that's coming out now is very productive. You know, that slip was the only mistake that they had in this drive. But to work on misdirection, read plays, you know, giving Burns a chance to pull, really gets the defense to settle, and it doesn't give them a chance to attack. And that's why they're right now having a good drive. You know, just that little mishap of sliding in that leaf and falling down, because the leaves are all down here. We're starting to see the skeletal value of all these trees here heading into November, even though it's 70+ degrees and we're sweating here.
Hard to believe it's the middle of that. Thanksgiving is like 10 days from now.
Yeah.
And we're going to get a flag. I think it's going to be a offsides against Ledyard. And if there is an offsides against Ledyard, that'll be huge for New London. That'll get them down to 3rd and very short.
Yes, sir.
And it is, so with 2:31 remaining. And that'll bring it 3rd and a half a yard for New London. The ball at the 17-yard line.
18-yard line.
Burns will keep it himself. He'll have the first down. Big
Good
hole.
run.
And
Good run.
nice low tackle from Donovan Green, but not until Burns is inside the 5. 1st and goal, Whalers.
Oh, we're seeing a lot of good running backs here that know how to cut back, you know, and when you do these drills in practice, people think it's a little joke that they do, you know. Some people that don't know the game of football, developing the feet and the angles and then reacting is really important, you know, for games like this. That was a really good read. You saw that linebacker commit to the outside, cut back, and drove down for a couple more yards.
1st and goal from the 7. Burns going to keep it himself, breaks a tackle, wrestling him down, and brought to the ground by Polton, but positive yards. Whalers will have it 2nd and goal down to about the 4-yard line.
Yeah, New London definitely needs to get into the end zone right here. Keep this game close. I know in the second half they got to play defense, but, you know, that's one of the things that you can do defensively. If you learn how to find out what Ledyard does, what makes them tick, and be disciplined, you could stop them and get yourself, you know, offensive possessions. That's what New London needs right now. A lot of offensive time.
Second and goal. Burns. Hands to
Oh,
Jones,
wrapped up.
and Jones is met right away by Barboza. Jackson Barboza with the tackle, and that's going to bring up third and goal as we're down. Clock ticking towards a minute here, minute 10 remaining in the half.
Third and goal from the 6.
So back to the 6-yard line, it'll be third and goal. And as for all the great running backs and running plays New London has had, this has been the spot in the field where they've always had a quarterback and they've always had that slant play.
Yes.
Where they could go hard slant right down here. There's been receivers for years, and that's not a play we have seen from them this year. Burns to throw, tucks it, weak side pressure, throws, intercepted by Polton. Polton with the interception for the Colonels. Jones wrestles him down at the 10, but Burns would have been better off just holding that one himself with 30 seconds remaining in the half. Ledyard takes over on downs.
Oh, wow, man. I mean, just a great attempt to just try to read it, but when you don't have any receivers open, take the run and then get yourself another chance. But that one, he tried to make a throw off his backside shoulder, and it was picked up by Polton. Going back to the pass plays, you mentioned something that we used to always Todd Uke will always come up to me and say, Pops, we're going to throw. And all I had to do was say cup and call the defense out. But one of the best plays I heard Coach Bunico used to always say, he called it the looking slide. It was just a play that you had two tough slants, a receiver coming and sliding out, and always had the numbers there. And that was back then, that was very tough to defend. So, yeah, you talk about those quarterbacks of the past that were practiced by Reardon and previous coaches. Yeah, it was good.
All right, we're 12 seconds away from halftime as the clock ticks. We will take our halftime break. Of course, the ceremony honoring the great Jim Bunicor to take place here at halftime. Ledyard on top, 28-0. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Game Day opens the high school basketball season back at the Mohegan Sun with the second annual Day Holiday Classic. We'll bring you 3 games on Monday, December 19th. First, a rematch of last year's Division I championship game between East Catholic and Notre Dame of West Haven. Next, a rematch of last year's Division III semifinal as St. Bernard takes on Daniel Hand. And finally, ECC rivals New London and NFA see if they can top last season's buzzer-beating drama. It's the Day Holiday Classic, Monday, December 19th at Mohegan Sun Arena, and streaming live on Game Day.
I will read the proclamation from the office of the City Council, City of New London, Connecticut. Whereas Mr. Bunicor's coaching career spanned more than 30 years, including being head football coach at New London High School from 1969 to 1999. Whereas Mr. Bunicor led New London High School to 4 state championships in the years 1983, 1989, 1991, and 1992. Whereas Mr. Bunicor led New London High School to 4 merit awards in the years 1970, 72, 73, and 74. Whereas Mr. Bunicor was selected as the head coach of the Connecticut All-Star team in 1972. Whereas Mr. Bunicor led the New London High School to the #1 ranking in the state of Connecticut in 1991. Mr. Bunicor was named Coach of the Year by the Connecticut High School Coaches Association in 1989. And whereas Mr. Bunicor was inducted into the New London High School Football Hall of Fame in 1988, the Connecticut High School Coaches Hall of Fame in 2003, the City of New London Athletic Hall of Fame in 2005, and the National High School Coaches Hall of Fame in 2014. Signed by and says, now therefore, I, Efren Dominguez Jr., President of the City Council of the City of New London, along with the City Council, and Mayor Michael E. Pizarro, extend our sincere appreciation and gratitude to Mr. James C. Bunicor for his dedication and commitment to the youth of our community and surrounding communities. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please welcome longtime former head coach here at New London High School, Mr. James C. Bunicor. With Mr. Bunicor, Newland High School Athletic Director, Mr. Phil Orby, along with former players who enjoyed their high school career playing for Mr. Bunicor.
Was 10 years ago when the two great coaches, Bill Mignall of Ledyard and Jim Bunicor of New London, sat down with our own folks here at the day and game day in what became sort of a symbol of the great rivalry between Ledyard and New London. Let's go back to those days.
Well, we've had a lot of good memories playing in New London. We have had some great games over the years, and we were friends with the coaches from New London, but it was always very competitive.
The things I remember the most about when I would call up Bill, it's pouring over in New London, maybe we ought to move the game till tomorrow. And it's not raining over here, Coach. The sun's shining, the band's on the field, we're ready to play. I says, okay, if you say so. And this wasn't one time, this was 2-3 times. We'd get over here and it'd be pouring.
That's true, but a lot of times it was just sprinkling, and when they would get there, it would be a downpour.
And I go, Bill, it's pouring. He went, oh, just a cloud, it'll pass.
We never postponed games in Ledyard because of rain or bad weather. I think over the years I coached at Ledyard, that we only called off 2 games, and that was because of thunder and lightning.
They used to put us down around the building. It was like a garage type of thing. And as the water, if it rained hot enough, that garage used to fill up. It was kind of wet down there.
Unfortunately, Ledyard didn't have the locker room facilities for what I call first-class operation, but the garage was heated. We had plenty of benches down there. We had chalkboards, anything they needed. Yeah, Tommy Majors used to get on us about it.
Tommy Major getting the defensive team psyched up.
They'd get the kids all pumped up. Oh, look at, they put you guys in the garage. No respect and everything. And I'm trying to get things calm. Take it easy, fellas. We got a game. The guys screaming, holler. When they come out of that garage, I never seen a bunch of guys so fired up as they was.
I told you, you don't want to get number 1 upset.
So it was a big game.
But I saw well-drilled London teams over the years, and Jimmy Bunicore, Sr., did a fine job over there over the years. If I remember correctly, I think the record is Ledyard 16, London 14, or something like that, and great games over the years.
Perfect fall day in Ledyard, Connecticut. So much at stake between these two teams.
Focus up.
New London comes in at 6-2. Ledyard 6-2.
It's time to get it started.
A playoff atmosphere, to say the least.
D-line works, and we stay lower than them, we gonna win this game.
Well, there's nothing better on a Saturday morning in New England than a high school football game, and these two exceptional teams are no strangers to each other, but they know going in that the loser probably will not advance into the postseason.
Okay, so we've got some breaking news on the New London side.
Yeah, Akeem Barber, the quarterback of New London,
You can see him coming into the game here with a hobble, a noticeable limp, so that explains everything you need to know right there,
You can see it there. He aggravated a hip injury yesterday in practice, and that's going to be a big blow for New London today because Akeem is, of course, starting quarterback and the leader on the team.
And so the coach's son, Danny Miranda, will get the call here today. That is pressure, my friends. Just an absolutely beautiful day in Ledyard. Sunshine, light breeze, and two teams incredibly fired up. We are underway. Hands and a first down. Nice run there. Miranda in the shotgun. Low snap, but he rolls right, looking downfield, and almost picked off.
Look at that. You got plenty of room right there. Yeah? You can plant tomatoes if you want to.
Come to every one of my games. Huh? Why don't you come to every one of my games?
You gonna kick me a little kickback on that?
Is anyone listening to me? We were in orange cover and Perry didn't run with his man.
When you get a chance, can you talk to Kevin? When we're on offense, the band plays when we're trying to get our call in. They're not playing. They don't play when they're on offense. But as soon as we go on offense, they start playing, so we can't get our call in.
John Rainey drops back, looking left, deep, downfield, and a nice catch. Evan August with the catch as he was going out of bounds, but he caught it inbounds. Now Rainey looking down the sideline. That is too dead and intercepted. Intercepted by Sam Miranda.
Where's the tight end? Penalty pushed us back.
Third down now for the Whalers. Better snap that time. Miranda puts it up and picked off. Oh, I think nice job there by Ryan Wade because I think that was definitely a fumble.
Tell Lyons it's orange. He's got a jam number 2.
Yeah, it's single coverage on the backside. And listen, okay? Take a deep breath. You're gonna be all right. Okay, you're gonna be all right.
All right, that's getting Ryan off the backside. Okay, and we still got a jam on 2 strong.
Just because it's situational, might be a good time to sneak Troy in for a play, run the ball, because it's a half chance.
Yeah.
Troy! So here comes New London. Oh, there's a fumble, and it looks like Ledyard is all over it.
Got to get to 2 yards, all right? Let's hit it. Let's hit this thing, all right? We're going to go 8-2.
Okay, we've got that 4th down now for the Colonels. Here we go. Rainey's talking it up at the line. Drops back. Hands to Carter, looking left, running it outside, and did he get it?
Yes, first down. I've got a story for you.
Lay it on us.
Our spies have told us that right now in the New London locker room, quarterback Akeem Barber is putting his pads on.
Oh my.
Doing all his steps, all his reading, all his dropping, and he just told me he's good to go.
Where is he?
Doctor's right over there. He's right down there ready to go put his stuff on.
Coach, I don't want to do that.
Good to go. I'm with you.
He takes a shot. It's going to be bad.
Rainey sweeps left.
Oh, he's got it.
Looking end zone, tosses it up. And picked off again.
Why?
Caleb Camacho in the end zone.
When you can run it as far as you can throw it, run it.
Listen, when we send motion to the front side on that, if that guy goes in motion and we got streaks, we got a one-on-one to whatever side we send the motion from. You got that?
Now, Ryan, if your guy goes in motion, slide out and jam one.
Miranda fakes to Park, looks over the middle, and a nice catch. Caleb Camacho, and a big gain right there, about 15 yards. And now we see a late flag.
On who? On who? On who?
Your spies were correct.
You're seeing right there, Akeem Barber. He's in pads, he's dressed, and he is taking snaps.
This game meant so much to him because of him playing here in the past, and he wanted to play this game more than anybody, and it killed me that to keep him out. But what I tell the kids is I'm not going to put them in a position I wouldn't put my own son in.
First down, Miranda looking deep and picked off. Another turnover.
Trust your arm. Don't underthrow it. You're underthrowing and floating everything. Get it out there. Throw it out in there between the numbers and the sideline and let them just run to the football.
Continue to see along that sideline, Akeem Barber. He is along those sidelines, and he seems to be moving miraculously well.
And I think if it were up to him, he would be in the football game right now.
Miranda looking to throw. And a great grab by Caleb Camacho again.
Hey, Kellen, we got to make sure we blow a whistle. There was no whistle there.
Coach, if we can't see the ball, we can't whistle. We absolutely
Come
cannot
on.
whistle till we see the ball.
My dead grandmother knew that the play was dead on that one. She was blowing the whistle.
But we don't know if the ball's bouncing.
And she's a wonderful woman.
I agree.
Great meatballs.
As we head into halftime, we just had our spies down in the field. They talked to Akeem Barber. The quote was, "I feel good, and I'm going in."
I said no.
You did?
Yeah, I said no. And then we came out, and I saw him running around a little bit more, and then he grabbed me by the back of the shirt and said, "Coach, I'm ready."
Miranda in the shotgun. Another low snap, but he handles it. Now he's looking and scrambling and taken down again. And a late flag. Looks like a late hit.
The whistle was not blown! You gotta be kidding me!
Miranda, nothing there, tries to get through, and at the very end there, Morales cleaning up the play.
You gotta be kidding me!
They're gonna call a late hit on Morales.
Kevin, the whistle wasn't blown!
This is a playoff game for both of these teams. Let's not lose sight of that. All right, Rainey dropping back and looking, and almost picked off. Hunter Roman got up, left his feet, knocked it down, and a big play right there.
Look at these guys. We should be pounding them up front. Look at these guys.
Akeem!
And I was like, "Coach, next drive, please." He was like, "No." So I took him by the shirt, and I was like, "Coach, let me in." So he put me through the test. He's like, shook my hand. He's like, "Go get him."
And I said, "Well, if you're ready, show me." And I put him through a couple drills there on the sideline, and he proved to me that he can probably get it done.
Danny, come here. Put your helmet down like you're gonna play. Come here. Come here.
What? Thank you.
Hey, get on the field. So to get around the field, turn around and look at me. Hey, Akeem, go.
And Mike, let's focus right there. Number 2, Akeem Barber is in the football game for the Whalers.
This is gutsy right here.
But the
on
energy,
his part to get in the ball game, and from the coach to make the decision, Dwayne Miranda to bring him in. So here we go. First play for Akeem Barber. And the hand is to Park. And a nice run, getting the first down.
And I can tell you right away the difference, the energy level just absolutely sparked up.
And this one's going to go against Ledyard again.
We're back with ready to start the second half here at New London High School. 28-0, Ledyard on top. And for those of you riveted, like I was, to that great Wired Zone from 10 years ago, we will post it later on today, and you'll be able to watch it again. Ledyard and New London, of course, Ledyard coached by Jimmy Bunicor, New London coached by Dwayne Miranda, and a key Barber's injury and subsequent return to the game, and the storyline there. You were listening to Mike Rattay and me, Casey O'Neill, back in the day 10 years ago on this great Ledyard New London day. So we're ready to start the second half. Ledyard on top 28-0. They will receive the kickoff. It's going to be a squib kick fielded by Ledyard at the 45-yard line, and that's where they will have it. 1st and 10. Of course, my partner, Coach Pasta Sanabria, will be with us momentarily. He was down on the field at halftime when New London honored the great Jim Bunicor, senior, head coach for New London for 30 years, 1969 to 1999, and he was honored at halftime, and a number of former Whaler greats were there to support him as well, his wife Candy. Handoff to Green on 1st down, and Green will have 3 off left tackle. Speaking of my man, Mr. Coach Pasta joining us back. Saw you down there with boy. I'll tell you what. I was naming them to the boys in the booth. There were some great names down on the field there today.
Definitely some great names, and the temperature down there's got to be in the 90s, man. Wow, hot. But a great day for Mr. Bunicor and all the players, alumni there.
I saw Foy. I saw Reardon. I saw Appleby. I saw McKelvin. It was a lot of good names down there.
Hector was there. Paul. Just great numbers here for today's event.
Toss right to Lenz. Lenz cuts it inside, breaks a tackle, and he'll have a Ledyard 1st down to the 45-yard line. That's a nice cut by Lenz, and I'm really impressed by that pitch. I don't know that Polton gets enough credit for the difficulty involved in that pitch. You mentioned it, almost like a rugby pitch. That's a really good example of how difficult and how powerful and precise that pitch needs to be.
Well, back in the day, the pitch when we were taught by Coach Bunicor was 2 hands and then full energy cross. He's actually spinning the ball to kind of throw it on the side, which gets it there faster and allows that running back to be outside that contained zone.
1st and 10, Ledyard, ball at the Whaler 45-yard line. Taking their time are the Colonels. This is that slow down offense that they have become so proficient at. Back judge hands goes up, 5 seconds, motion man Streckvis, and handoff up the middle to Green, and only a yard. But Ledyard will be perfectly content, taking their time, eating up clock. I think their goal is to have a drive that takes up an entire quarter.
Yeah.
That's and they score. That's ultimately what they're hoping for.
Definitely, it's a system that you want to practice and add for a running offense. It's just about clock management, and in this situation, when you're jumping down like 2 minutes of scheduled time, per play, that really eats up time.
Starts with the quarterback, Polton, the offensive line locked in, very disciplined. 2nd and 9, under 10 minutes here in period number 3.
The defense is stacked right now, really stopping the run with only 3 deep to cover.
Green breaks a couple of tackles, and Barry Sanders it into the middle of the field, and where he gets about 4 total. And tackle made by Robledo Thompson, and he's going to limp off. He's going to stay on, or are they going to be? Yeah, they're going to send in Mooney in to replace him. Nice tackle there. Bring up 3rd and 7.
The good thing about Ledyard right now, they can go all the way through 4th down, and even if they don't get it, they have good field position to work with defensively. If they want to pitch it into the corner, they can. But again, this is favoring right now Ledyard. If they continue to drive here and force New London to use the long part of the field, that'd be difficult for New London.
Green with over 1,600 yards rushing this year, leading the way for the Colonels.
That's amazing. That's a lot of yardage picked up this season. A lot of alumni brothers down there today. It was really nice, Casey, man.
Lenz in motion. Polton's going to throw. Now he pulls it down and holds on to it for dear life as he is sacked. And that'll bring up 4th down. Whalers running to the football, led by Dyshawn Mooney, coming off the pile there, as well as Cortland Jones.
Look at this young man grow. You know, another thing, Casey, that's what I've admired there. The next generation that's here today, you know, the players that played, their sons that are playing. You know, we talk about Johnny Burns, part of that championship team, and his son now playing today. You know, it's just a great connection of how much of the heritage and tradition that London has had throughout the course of decades that we've been here participating in this.
So Ledyard going to do something unusual for them. Punt. 4th down. Lenz is into punt. He stands at his own 45-yard line. Good snap. Pressure from the Whalers. High punt. Will sail out of bounds. And they're going to walk it up. We'll see how far. I don't think that was going to get inside the 20, so they'll walk it up. Official still going and right at the 20-yard line. So Whalers will have it 1st and 10, and they're still going, saying the 25. So 25-yard line where the Whalers will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah.
It is actually hot.
It is hot today, brother. I went to put the windbreaker thinking that it was going to help me with the wind down there, and I think I lost about a good pound and a half on the way up here. So this is going to be the new Whaler workout. Remember, this is the side of the hill that Mr. Bunicor used only if he was not behaving in school.
Oh, that's right.
Then we had the natural one where we used for conditioning. I mean, this is a good thing about New London practice facilities is you had natural, environment to train and get better at.
Hills.
But I remember that hill on that side, boy.
Coach Vargas used to use the hills for baseball as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you the bleacher workout that started every baseball year.
Yes, sir.
1st down, handoff, Fleur-Jean, big hole, 1st down, and he'll gain 9 on that 1st down carry by Marvell Fleur-Jean. So Coach Vargas on the first day, now we have these new concrete bleachers here, but when they used to be the old
wooden
big
ones, yeah.
wooden bleachers. On the early part of conditioning, because that first week of pitchers and catchers, you had to have conditioning week, he would have you do the run down, and then run up, and run down
the chain
all
gang.
the way up the
all
bleachers.
the way up those bleachers.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, I was over there throwing the shot put, seeing you guys run, and I was so happy that I didn't make it then,
Let me go walk after my shot put. 2nd and short, handoff, Jones. Jones will be wrestled down after a short gain, but it should be enough for a 1st down. Taggart brought him down, and they'll move the chains.
I want to tell you something funny, because the first thing I did when I walked up to coach to shake his hand and congratulate him, he says, "Hey, Pops, they got to work a little bit more off tackle." I mean, he was still coaching. Give the guy the ball and let him run it until he stops. Those are the things that at his age he still has, that ingenuity, that concept. Talking to the guys about that, that was a great little memory we had there.
Who were you hanging out with down there? Are we making the rounds?
I met, Troy, Paul, Noddy, and Tommy Thompson, generational guys across the board, guys that I played with. To me, I was always inspired by Jason Appleby. He was like a big brother. I went through the trenches and I learned how to be a Whaler through him, and God bless him, Ed Samuel, who was one of our teammates there too. To start me to being what I needed to be, and then to Troy McKelvin, I guess the most prolific winner in New London history, and being around those guys, and we all had a part of something, I told the guys, I said, I was only like the last guy in the team that was special, but, I was special in first place on certain things, which, I really appreciated that, but a lot of great guys there that were there today.
2nd and long for New London. Burns from the shotgun. I'll bring up a Whaler thought here in a moment. Handoff, Fleur-Jean, big hole. Breaks a tackle and rumbles forward for a 1st down. That's a nice run by Marvell Fleur-Jean, and better blocking downfield for the Whalers. For many years, and I don't know if it's still the case, but for many years, New London High School was the only school in Connecticut who had won 5 state championships in football, basketball, and baseball. And I don't know if that's still the case with some recent state championships, but for many years, they were the only school to have done that, which is remarkable. Some schools have 25 football championships, but they don't have a baseball one, or they only have one baseball one, right? So Ansonia, for example, has 8,000 football championships, but they don't have the others, right? So it's surprising that 5 was the magic number across the board. 2 people who are here today, and there may be more, but Jimmy Bunicor and Troy McKelvin, I believe, won a state championship in all. I know Troy did. I think Jimmy did as well in all 3 while they were in school.
Yes, all 3 while they were in school.
I know Troy did because he was a member of that great state championship team of the team that beat Stratford. He was also a basketball player on multiple state championships for New London High School, and he won a baseball state championship with Willie Kleinfelter and Todd Meadows and that group.
And that was the importance of our coaches. We weren't specifically here to play one sport, and the dish off that we were given was passing from one father figure to another father figure, and that was the experiences. And even between that, there were coaches that were assistant coaches under a head coach that run programs on their own, and that intermingling developed some great men across the board here that I see to this day has been successful. I had a chance to see Coach Reardon here today, and we were just talking about the play where Coach Bunicor literally ripped me up before the end of the state championship game. I called a timeout because I couldn't see, and I thought that Coach Reardon was calling a timeout. And when Coach Bunicor ripped at me and he said, "Hey, what are you calling timeout for?" I blamed it on poor Coach Cochran. I was like, "Hey, Coach Cochran told me." Well, he had to go up to the booth the rest of the game, but it was a great experience there, definitely.
First down, Burns will keep it himself and gain 3 over left tackle, and it'll be 2nd and 7.
Yep.
The funny part we were watching, we aired at halftime, part of one of the first Wired Zone New London Ledyard 10 years ago when Dwayne Miranda was coaching New London and Jimmy Bunicor was coaching at Ledyard, and a very youthful-looking Pasta Sanabria was talking with Coach Bunicor, explaining some things to him. Coach Bunicor wanted no part of it. He wanted no explanation. He was locked and fired up, sounded a little McEnroe-like there for a while with some of his yelling at the officials, but that's a great video.
Definitely got a piece of that too, and that's just the fire and the roaring of the tradition that we've had for many years with Ledyard. When Jimmy told us that he wanted us to have the staff to go to Ledyard that year, I'm like, are they gonna love us? I mean, we're from New London, we're supposed to be. And the first year, a couple of weeks was really tough, but again, I got to dedicate him, what he's done over there and his dedication to being a successful coach and making that program really a respectable program, and it's passed on to this day to the new coaching system over here at Ledyard. But yeah, it all stems from Papa Bunicor, definitely.
3rd and down, handoff, Fleur-Jean trying to get to the outside, flag on the play, and that's hurt New London here. On every big play that they've had, there has been a flag on the play, and almost always it has gone against New London. We'll see if this one holds firm as well, and it looks like holding against the Whalers.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten in that great video we saw it. I remember Akee Barber coming back into the game in the second half and leading New London on just enough to get that win. What I didn't remember was the great dialogue between the great Kent Reyes and Dwayne Miranda, where Coach Reyes says, "Just want you to know, the kid's he's going through his reps, he's going through his stuff. He wants to get back in the game." And Dwayne said, "No, I'm not doing that," because he was so concerned about despite the game. Being in the balance, a playoff spot being on the line. He's like, I'm not putting this kid's safety at risk. If he takes a shot, and as the game progressed, Akee just kept getting closer and closer to the coach, going, I'm ready. I'm good. You got to get me back in there. And at halftime, he showed him every rep, every step, and got back in the game for the Whalers.
I'll tell you a little special story about Akee after this play. Again, Ledyard playing a great defensive series right here and stopping him on 3rd down.
Matthew Tebbets came in and sacked Burns. That'll bring up 4th and long.
So, we know that Akee the year before was playing with us and made a decision to go back to New London. A really beautiful young man. I've always admired as a player and just very respectful. I had a chance to bring him home a couple of times. And, one of the things that inspired me about him was that he had that drive. And to be around Coach Reyes, who I thought was a great coach with quarterbacks. Very amazing how he would bring the psychological aspect of it with the coaching play. That kid was desired to play because he loved his coach. And then when he went in there, all I could see that magic happening, and when he made that touchdown, I know I was on the losing side of that, but I had a lot of respect for Akee for that just stepping up and coming in to win.
4th down, Whalers. They got a long way to go. They hand it off on a reverse.
Barnes
and back to Burns again. A double reverse, and that's going to go nowhere. Ultimately, Burns is tackled at the 35-yard line, and Ledyard will have it 1st and 10. Give the Colonels credit.
Well defended, good discipline. They read their keys, and they stayed where they needed to be in order to make that play seal off. But that was a double reverse back to the quarterback. There was one wide receiver open. No way Burns could throw that far to get into the ball, and then they were stuffed. So Ledyard has the ball right now and have another attempt to score. Yeah, there was a lot of good stories that we've had there. One of the most infamous ones was the year that we went to the state championship. Yeah, we had an episode there in a rainy. It always felt like it was a storm at Ledyard every time we played up there, and the chain gangs were always ready to trip Coach Bunicor. They did that, and they did it at the wrong time. We ended up going out there and putting some work on them.
1st down, carry by Green. He'll gain 5 on 1st down to bring up 2nd down. As we're ticking here down in the 3rd quarter, 3 minutes, 15 seconds remaining, 28-0. Ledyard on top with the football. Of course, stay after the game. You want to check us out on social media, Game Day CT for the Foxwoods Player of the Game. Foxwoods Resort and Casino, go online at foxwoods.com/entertainment. You can check out all the ticket available, especially the Beach Boys, featuring the Holiday Vibrations Orchestra November 26th at Foxwoods Resort Casino. You can check out our Foxwoods player of the game. 2nd and 7. They're waiting for the back judge. There it is. And again, not much there for Green. Maybe it falls forward for 2. It'll bring up 3rd. Man, a long 4 for Ledyard.
You know, Casey, I never really thought about it, but I'm just thinking about it now. You know, I definitely have to give a shout out and a thanks and the love and devotion to all the players that from the New London history and the Ledyard history have went out and served our country, from the Navy, Army, Air Force. You know, I was just talking to Rel, you know, he was in the Air Force. You know, those guys that decided to have a career in the military service, you know, I definitely want to thank them and show them the love and respect that they deserve out there for this beautiful weekend and this great day to watch some football.
Absolutely, on this Veterans Day weekend.
They're winding down that clock, waiting for the judge to raise that hand up, and there it is.
Polton, 3rd and 5. Keeps it himself, and he'll be right near the sticks at the 25-yard line. Jackson Polton will, looks like, be a yard short, half a yard short, and that'll bring up 4th and, let's call it 2 feet.
2 feet, yeah. Would say 2 feet, 24 inches.
That works too.
You know.
Fleur-Jean on the tackle for the Whalers.
Yard line.
Of course, after today, our next broadcast will likely be Thanksgiving Day, but we will have Thanksgiving Eve, rather, and we'll update that in a moment. 4th down as Polton gets the quarterback keeper, and I think he'll
that
be
might
enough.
Be short. That might be short. There's a judge up top who's waving inside the line, and I know the sticks are on the line.
See what he says. I'd be shocked if they don't give this first down.
There's
No, the Whalers are
waving
coming
it
off.
away.
They're happy.
All right.
Whalers are saying they
Great
held.
defensive effort.
Great job by the New London Whalers, staying scrappy, keeping it at 28-0. So, our next broadcast is Thanksgiving Eve. Is that correct, Peter Wappy?
Quinnebog Valley at Thames River.
Wow.
And that Thames River game, that will be a likely determining seeding game for them.
Yes.
They're in, but where they land and who they'll host will be available that night, right?
And if you'll remember, last year Thames River went up to Putnam to play their final game of the season at Quinnebog and got bounced from the playoffs in that loss. So
wow. Yeah.
they are looking to improve their playoff positioning. They're probably looking to go undefeated, and they're looking for some revenge, too.
Yeah.
They circled that one as well, absolutely.
It's a real good club up there right now that Coach Craig is doing.
Burns to throw, tucks it, and he'll be sacked. Rush check will get him.
Number 70.
Loss of 5.
On the tackle.
And then on Thanksgiving Day, we will be at Fitch High School, where we will have these Ledyard Colonels at Fitch in what is also, considering Ledyard's likely to go on to victory here, that Ledyard game will be for their seeding as well. If they beat Fitch, they should get a home game. If they were to lose to Fitch, their playoff hopes might be on the line, and Fitch, believe it or not, is not mathematically eliminated yet either.
No, they're still in there, right?
They still have a chance.
Yeah.
So lots to watch on Thanksgiving Eve and Thanksgiving Day here on Game Day. 2nd down and long. Burns to throw. This time has time. Dumps it in the flat to Fleur-Jean, and a tackle made out there. Well done.
That's Christy Adamick.
Nicely done in space. Adamick's been available multiple times today out in the space, and he's made good tackles. And that's probably going to wind us down to the end of the 3rd quarter. New London here facing a 3rd and long. Clock ticking down under 5 seconds. So that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. It looks like we're going to get a timeout with 4 seconds remaining in the quarter. So with 4 seconds remaining, we have a timeout for New London, and we're going to take a timeout. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
You buy better. Better at first. Much better. So much better at first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at first. You buy better at first. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you.
3rd down, Whalers here. 4 seconds remaining in Burns. Into the flat it goes. Caught by Barnes, and Barnes bumped out of bounds as the quarter ends. When we come back with the 4th quarter, the Whalers will be facing a 4th down. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Game Day opens the high school basketball season back at the Mohegan Sun with the second annual Day Holiday Classic. We'll bring you 3 games on Monday, December 19th. First, a rematch of last year's Division I championship game between East Catholic and Notre Dame of West Haven. Next, a rematch of last year's Division III semifinal as St. Bernard takes on Daniel Hand. And finally, ECC rivals New London and NFA see if they can top last season's buzzer-beating drama. It's the Day Holiday Classic, Monday, December 19th at Mohegan Sun Arena, and streaming live on Game Day.
A lot of smiles here at New London today, honoring the great coach Bunicor. Ledyard 28-0 over the Whalers as we start the fourth quarter. And we know when you think of smiles, we think of Waterford Dental Health. And Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health, where your smile is their top priority. At Waterford Dental Health, their entire team is dedicated to providing you the personalized and gentle care you deserve. So go contact them today. Visit waterforddentalhealth.com for more information. And of course, find us at Game Day CT after the game on all of our social media for the Foxwoods Player of the Game. We'll figure it out, talk it over. We have some ideas, 12 minutes of football remaining, and we'll have our interview with the winning coach and the Foxwoods Player of the Game. Ledyard on top 28-0 here as we start the fourth quarter. New London with the football facing a 4th and 2.
So far, Ledyard's defense has played some great sound defense, putting up a little bit of pressure in the middle, but again, their tackling has been, they're primed for the day. Just really knowing how to wrap up and secure tackles and tackle as a team.
4th down, Whalers, ball at the 33-yard line. Just waiting for the officials to bring this into play.
Yeah, they gotta switch the chains. That sometimes happens where we have that right brain, left brain confusion, and I still think that they need to understand that the chain needs to go that way. Move the chains a little bit more. There you go. Now we got it set. All right. Looks like 3 yards.
Yep. Florijan will stand next to Burns. Trips right for the Whalers, and singles wide receiver out to the left is Hazlett. Burns gives it to Florijan.
There's the hole.
Has a first down. Has more. Breaks a tackle and crosses
Great
the 45 to the 44-yard line. Marvell Florijan, first down, Whalers.
That's how funny it is that the old man Bunicor, when I started talking to him just to congratulate him, the first thing he said was, "Boss, they got to run to the outside. They got to run the blast. They got to run it out the edge." And it's funny. I guess Johnny must have heard that, because when they do attack that edge perimeter, they run the ball very well. Just getting to the outside corner is the key.
First down, Whalers at the 47-yard line. Burns has trip receivers to the left. Going to throw a little bubble screen. Caught. Big hole. Hazlett crosses the 30-yard line.
That's Whaler offense right there that we're looking for right there. Good explosion. Get the perimeter, working up the field, marching it down. I think Coach Burns, when he put that energy during that timeout, must have got a little pepper on his team. And playing right now good football.
Streckfus made the tackle for the Colonels, but it'll be 1st and 10 New London, ball at the 29-yard line of Ledyard. Mancuso, near side. Hazlett, far side. And Florijan stands next to Burns in the shotgun. Burns is going to keep it himself, looking for a block from Florijan. Gets 2 blocks from Florijan and rumbles forward before he's brought down by Tebbets, but that's a gain of 5 for Johnny Burns.
Yeah, the defense has shifted now to playing a all-man, one-free kind of defense with one safety high, just trying to make sure that they're able to make the players play in their areas of rush and contain. This is something that I think that would stifle a little bit, and it showed a little bit on this offensive play. Again, we'll see what happens. Hopefully they can spread it out and throw the ball a little bit here. This defense is capable to get caught in this passing game.
Little bubble screen, out it goes. Tyree Barnes. Barnes breaks a tackle, high tackle. Now he's looking for anything, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. So a lot of effort from Tyree Barnes, and eventually no gain, 3rd and 4. One thing of note for Ledyard, and this is a function of a 28-0 lead and a playoff thing on the line, is that both James Green and Jackson Polton, who normally play defense, they're not playing defense.
No, they're not. No, I think Coach made a good safe move here. And get some younger players to gain experience. This is the kind of game that you can get those younger guys that probably get 1 or 2 plays, during a series to play a quarter and gain that. They might be needed down the road when you come to the playoffs. You never know what happens. So it's a good move for the coach.
Burns, little toss, flourish on, and he was tripped up in the backfield by Wyatt Crawford, and that's what held that play up and caused what maybe might have been a bigger gain. It's going to be no gain, and that'll bring up 4th and 5.
I had a chance to coach Wyatt's brother, amazing guy. Now he's serving in the Navy, great young man. And what I love about the Ledyard's football team is that they have a lot of wrestlers that come out, since they're babies. They compete, and that right there showed that you got to finish the play even though you're on the ground. So it's great effort by Crawford there. Good job for Ledyard's defense to hold it down right now, 4th down.
Direct snap, Burns will keep it, and he'll be close to the first down, but he'll be short. Ledyard will hold, and they'll take over on downs as that ball is marked at the 20. He needed to get to the 19 for the first down, so Ledyard will take over on downs. Yeah, my son came to home yesterday, and he said, the wrestling coach approached me in the cafeteria. He knew my name, and he was like, "Hey, what do we have to do to get you out for wrestling? And you're gonna, as a football player, it'll help you with your football. You'll be more." And AJ was like, "Actually, I'm working out in the winter, training for baseball, getting ready for baseball." And he's like, "Oh, for wrestling will get that better for you too. AJ's like, "I was trying really hard to be polite. I was flattered." I go, "But," he's like, "But I really don't want to wrestle." He's like, "That's not my."
Tough.
He's like, "I don't have that kind of." He's like, "I don't want to go. It's not my thing."
I think out of all the sports, it is the most dedicated psychological sport there is because it's all about you being on that mat.
The island.
The island. You got that right.
Green with a handoff, and it's held on. There he is. Lentz keeps it. Green sold everyone, but Lentz is heading down the sideline and pushed down.
That was a great pitch at that time where that end just came crashing hard, and Jackson, all he could do was actually throw it. And so, that pitch right there bobbled a little bit, but he got the ball and gained some positive yards there.
Nice rush by Lentz across midfield. That'll be first down for Ledyard.
I was just talking to Efren Dominguez. He's now in our Whaler political family here, and, I remember him as a teammate, how important it was when Mr. Bunacourt said, "Hey, let me slide you down here and bring you down since you didn't do well in basketball pre-trials. You come down here and do wrestling." And Mr. DePeter, God, one of my greatest coaches I consider as a father figure, told me that you'll be the best at what you want to be if you dedicate yourself to wrestling. And I got to say, without wrestling, I wouldn't have been a really good athlete in both track or baseball. But again, that's the 3 sports mentality that coaches should apply to their athletes. You learn a lot from another sport and then still have that great passion for the sport that you love.
Polton. Lentz in motion. Green straight up the gut. Gains 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 6. The clock now running with 8:40 in the game. 28-0 Ledyard.
I don't know if it's been called this way, but I'm going to call this a Pac-Man offense. What they just want to do is chomp on time and keep that consistency, trying to gain that first down. Again, it's a system that I think looks kind of boring, but if you think about it as a coach perspective, this is something that's really decent for the team. They know when they have to chomp that clock down, they just wait for that guy to raise his hand knowing there's 5 seconds and then run the play.
I think they'd be perfectly content with New London not touching the ball again.
Yeah, definitely.
Polton waiting for the back judge to raise his hand, signaling 5. There he goes. Calmly under center. Motion man is Lentz. Green gets the handoff off tackle, and he'll rumble forward for a first down.
Great job. Kudos to the offensive line to stay in that stance for 30-plus seconds, waiting for the quarterback to give you that cadence and be, aggressive off the ball. I think that weight on the hand would take its toll, but you know what? They've probably practiced this a lot in the field, and it shows that that offensive line has done a considerable job keeping that going.
They're going to mark Green a yard short, so it'll be 3rd and 1 at the 49-yard line of New London.
New London has no safeties at this time. They have everybody stacked in the box.
First down as Green crosses the 45-yard line. Chains will move. Clock will continue to run with 7:09 remaining here in the ball game. 28-0 Ledyard on top. Looking to move to 8-1 here on the season.
And definitely good job with that offensive line getting on the chest pads of New London. You could also see a conditioning factor showing right here as New London got a lot of players that putting their hands on their hips and just waiting to get to the next play. But that offensive line is prepared and ready to go right off the rip.
Clouds settling in, sun on its way out, it looks like here, cooling things down a little bit. It's going to be, like 30 degrees colder tomorrow,
I think just for spite, we should bring some copper tone to the next game, just in case we did get something like this, Could have had a nice tan. I feel it around my nose, brother. I feel it around the redness in the nose. I can see it in yours, but you have a beautiful shine.
Well, thank you. I reddened up nicely.
Look like Tony Savalas.
I'm like a
lollipop here.
Well, thank you. I have a little Kojak. I appreciate that. Second down and 3. Green got 7 on first down. And again, Ledyard is just very content, very patient and methodical. They'd be happy with 3.3 yards a carry. Polton. Patient again. Just very
patience is the key in this offense right now. Waiting patiently as they wait for that hand to come up. That referee right now probably has the best deodorant there is in the state of Connecticut.
Toss to Green, gets a block, gets to the outside, first down, down the sideline. James Green, high steps, and heads out of bounds at the 12-yard line. First down, Ledyard, the playmaker with his biggest run of the day.
You know what I like about how this clock management is too. You think about how you want your healthy running back like Green right now to stay healthy, and that was a very smart move. He could have ran and tried to get that into the end zone, but he knows it's a running clock. He goes out of bounds, the clock's still running. He has their team to have another play there. That's something that's kind of an added feature that we would have never expected back in, when we played. You run out of bounds, time ran out, There's the man Real right there. Love you, brother. Jason all state, all everything, man. Like I said, without him, I don't think I'd have been a good player. There's a lot of brothers out there I give credit to the game, but Jason was the first one.
Green hit
That
immediately.
was good stuff right there.
And that was a big play from the Whalers. Robledo Thompson. Javon Ford as well. Got him in the thing.
That was a good stuff place. The way to shoot through the gap. We had a day gap blitz there by Thompson and Ford penetrating through. And that's how you got to stop him. You have to have 2 or 3 guys on him magnetically holding cloth and waiting for the teammate to kind of run in there. But even that, he didn't get dropped down. He just stays up. He's a very strong kid for his stature. Green's a very physical player. 2nd and 11 for the Colonels. Ball about the 14-yard line with 5 minutes remaining here in the ball game. 28-0. Ledyard on top. You think we'll see a record 4 passes today? We got 3 in.
I'd be shocked if he throws one again. Green breaks a tackle, cuts it back inside, still on his feet, and wrestled to the ground inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. Brought down by Denzel Norman, but that's going to be, and DeSuze also on the tackle, Quintrell DeSuze, and that is going to be a 3rd down play, maybe a yard left, so they can get a first down before they score a touchdown. They're going to give him the first down, so they're going to say first down and goal.
At the 3 for the Colonels.
So 1st and goal from the 3 for the Colonels.
It'd be a good stat to put up. How many pounds of pasta on a pasta dinner did I eat before every game since 1996? Wow.
Well, people forget, the pasta dinners that are so popular these days, team pasta dinners. Coach Bunicor was who had his own. You go and ate at Coach Bunicor's house. Watch film, ate pasta.
My first youth championship game, I had the best experience in the world where Mama Bunicor, we walked into the house in Farmington and they had a spread for us. They treated us like we were just, unbelievable, like champions. And that was the first time I really liked family get-together meals. And then from there, it was just, I got to say, tons and tons of pasta that came across with sauce and all that. My weight doesn't show it, but, definitely I would be a cargo ship in an essence with all the love I got throughout the years. Shout out to my mom's cooking, too, but don't get me wrong, but she was very happy that I was fed before I got home sometimes.
So you had mentioned the great Jason Appleby, part of the so the great story. So Jason Appleby came home with me in junior high, with the promise of mac and cheese and Nerf hoop, and never left.
Never left.
My best friend in high school, my brother to this day, my mom. He stayed with us often. His mom Sherry, one of my favorite women in the world. But J-App in the state championship game when he had to go up against Ramondo Stallings, who went on to San Diego State, blocked for Marshall Falk, was a defensive monster. When he had to go up against him, and he rose to that challenge and he dominated that performance, I will always remember the sense of pride. Green's going to waltz into the end zone for the touchdown for the Colonels. James Green with another touchdown, and it's 34-0. The sense of pride, I knew how hard he had worked and how much that had meant to him, and he pointed up into the stands after a sack in that championship game, and I just remember thinking to myself, like, at that time, this was everything. We were looking at those guys, we understood what it meant to be a Whaler football player.
Definitely.
Colonel football player. These traditions at these schools. And Ledyard will kick this extra point. So coming in is Wanamaker for the extra point for the Colonels. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up.
That's good.
And it is good, 35-0. So 35-0 Ledyard. We got 4 minutes remaining in the ball game. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
You buy better. Better at first. Much better. So much better at first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at first. You buy better at first. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
35-0 Ledyard on top here in the fourth quarter against New London at New London on a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Whalerville. The Colonels will kick off after the James Green touchdown.
Case, I was this close that I even playing football. You know what happened? I was at a youth football. Our coach gave us the jerseys and allowed us to come into the game for free. If we had good grades and stuff like that. And right there by the concession stands, I saw my first play. New London kicking the ball downfield against Bullard Havens. And big number 77 from New London rushing down hardcore came in and walloped the kid from Bullard Havens. And I was like, is this high school football? There's a fumble in the play.
Looks like Ledyard thinks they have it too, which would pretty much put the stamp on the lousy results for New London today.
There's a recovery, I think, right now. Did they give it to Ledyard? And we're still waiting for the call.
Was that Darren McNair?
Darren McNair, yes. He came down that field, and I was smiling. I was with Reno at the time. We were all young. We weren't even growing at the time. We didn't have a mustache. And this guy came in, and that's the first time I heard plastic hit like that. And the roar from the fans, and I didn't realize how big of a game it was, but they actually had to stop that game because the kid's face mask broke into it. And then they said, well, there's where you're going to be at next year. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to play football.
I remember that hit. I was at that game as well. Darren McNair.
But here's what makes it special. During the summer, we get an envelope that's mailed to us. It was Mr. Bunicor with a packet of how to work out, welcoming us to the team, and these are the dedications and the core values and all that stuff. So he put everything in place to make sure that we were out there to get the opportunity to play Whaler football, and I bought into it. I definitely did. And ever since then, I've got to say I'm happy to be a Whaler.
Ryan Taggart into the game at quarterback as Ledyard will run this thing out here with 2:50 remaining.
Just the essence of going into the locker room, the smell of the new, conditioned helmets and stuff. And you know that during baseball season when you get that, you see the uniforms, how well placed they were. You guys, in baseball, you guys look like a professional team. We thought the Oakland Athletics was playing here.
That's right.
And that's one of the things that I was inspired by all the coaches in New London was that we had a way of representing with our uniform and our work ethic that, made teams out there know that we were coming to play.
Taggart under quarterback. Crawford's his back. Motion man, handoff, Crawford, and he'll gain 5-6 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and short as we're heading under 2 minutes.
Yeah,
a lot of the Whalers, the aura of the Whalers when we were there, was exactly that. Was this attitude? You talked about the hill, right?
Yep.
Teams had to walk the hill and stand on the other sideline and look across. And you had Tommy Major with the train coming, and there was a whole atmosphere to it. Basketball, you had 7 guys in the starting, it's not the starting lineup. 7 guys that were dunking in pregame.
Pre-games.
And the crowd was crazy.
Looked like a pro game
The
before.
JV game was full. And with Gil Vargas, he believed that you wore white cleats because they make you look faster.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true. He told me I could not wear black cleats. He said, you're slow enough. You have to white cleats, make you look faster.
Yeah, Coach gave us the option the year we went to play. We decided to go with the black cleats. At that time, that was the fad from Notre Dame that we used to kind of follow, the Adidas and the Champion outfits that we wore. We didn't wear any kind of cheap materials. We always had the high quality stuff, brother.
First down, Colonels. As under a minute left, they'll be able to run the clock out. So Coach Vargas had us we were the only baseball team that had like sweatsuits that we wore over our uniforms.
Yeah.
We showed up in games in like a sweatsuit and then took them off. And we had the bags, the monogrammed bat bags that we all carried. And his thing was the second you step off the bus, we break it down at the bus and sprint from the bus to the dugout, straight out into the outfield and do our warm-ups. And he's like, teams will be intimidated.
And very intimidated.
Until we went to Wilbur Cross, and it was like a quarter of a mile from where the bus dropped us off. And I go, Coach,
you're gonna get tired.
I don't know if I can make it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because Wilbur Cross Baseball Stadium is like a quarter mile away from the school, right?
I was like, Coach, I don't know if we're gonna lose some people here. Clock ticking down. The teams are gonna go out and congratulate each other. 35-0 Ledyard with the victory today. As always, we'll be back on Thanksgiving Eve, Thames River and Quinnebog Valley, and then Christmas and then Thanksgiving morning at Fitch High School, Ledyard and Fitch. Find us on social media, Game Day CT, for the Foxwoods Player of the Game and the interview with Coach Mike Siricchio. For the coach, Pasta Sanabria, Peter Wappy and the crew, I am Casey O'Neill. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye-bye.